I'm going to share a story of a sign that our loved ones are always with us and are listening and are close by and even have a wonderful sense of humor and like to play with us. My sister, Tony, who was developmentally disabled, passed away in June. It'll be 4 years. I see her every day in my meditation. We connect every day in my meditation. She still shows up for me the way that she was in this body, in this life. And I know she does that for me, for my comfort, because obviously she's a soul and a spirit now and she can be whatever she wants to be. But that's how she shows up for me because I need her to, right? And that's for me. Anyway, about a week, 2 weeks ago, I would say, I was in my meditation and I said, Tony, do me a favor. Give me a sign, but do something out of the box. Like something that, is totally out of the box and nothing that I would be the normal signs, because the normal signs are, if you see a rainbow, we have a foundation, rainbow foundation. We take care of special needs women. So, of course, rainbows are a big sign. Butterflies, cardinals. A cardinal was at the window at the moment she passed, at my mom's window, to let her know she passed. So those are the usuals we get. Or we'll hear, some music that we know is Tony here, like those kind of things, or a picture, or a card will just pop out of nowhere that she left for us, that kind of stuff. So I said, no, I want something out of the box. Okay, so fast forward to March 18th. Right? Yeah, March 18th, because March 17th, St. Patty's Day, is my niece's birthday. Okay. So my sister says, I get a message. Did mom tell you about the boots? And I'm like, no, what is that? I don't even know what that means. This is my family, my crazy family, my other sister, who is still currently here on this planet. She's like, did mom tell you about the boots? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, I'll have to explain. I think they're from Tony. And I'm thinking, what is she talking about? So we get on the phone. We're on the phone for like 2 hours going down this like conversation about how this is from Tony. So my mom receives a mysterious package in her name from the post office, the company, the shipping company, of 2 pairs of identical sister boots from Doc Martin. And they're knee length. One is black, one is suede and tan, that brownish tan color. But they're identical other than that. Same size, right? Which is both of my sister's sizes. An 8. I'm a 7.5. So with thick socks, they're fine for me. So she's like, I went for 2 hours. I looked up names, any other names that were associated. The tracking number, looked up the tracking number, didn't exist. The other name that was associated, looked it up. The person had sold their house in 2020 and left, and we couldn't find anybody else, any other access to this person. Looked on social media, nobody's showing up. Other names not associated, with that address. Nobody knows anything. Nobody's answering their phone, not even places to leave messages. So we're like, okay, well, so as I'm having the conversation, I'm thinking like, well, what is making you think, this is from Tony? And she's like, because they're sister boots. She's like, because they went to mom. They didn't go to me. She had her best childhood friend passed away many years ago. So if it was from her friend, they would have just gone to her. She's like, first of all, they went to mom, and mom would never wear those boots. They're not mom's style, but you and I definitely, that's our style, right? And I'm like, okay. And the night before, we were celebrating for my niece's birthday, and Tony, my sister, loved birthdays, loved celebrating, and would definitely have been there with us for the birthday, for sure, because that was her favorite. Holidays and celebrations were her favorite. So I go, okay. She's like, so before I was talking to mom, she's like, I wanted to talk to you, meaning me, to get confirmation, right? She's like, I needed confirmation. She's like, because I said to mom, this is coming from my sister, I'll take them. And my mother said, "Oh no, if these boots came to me and nobody's claiming them, you pick one and you give the other ones to your sister, Melissa, which is me. You give one to your sister. They're, sister boots." And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Because anybody who's listening, if you're a mother, if you have more than one child, you don't just give to the one child without giving to the other child. Right. So she's like, so that was something. And she's like, but I wanted to talk to you. She's like, is there anything about boots for you? And I'm like, well, it just so happens that last night, because the boots came the day after the celebration, as I was getting dressed, this is me telling her, last night, I'm getting dressed. It happened to be chilly in Florida at night. And we love it when it's chilly because that's when scarves come out. That's when boots come out. That's when, the things that we never get to wear get to be worn. I was wearing leggings with a sweater, with a scarf, and I wanted a really cute pair of boots. So I'm in my closet looking at the boots that I have and trying on boots. I happen to have a black pair of knee-length knee-high boots, but they're flat. And I tried them on. And this is exactly what I said. I said, no, I'm not crazy about these with this outfit. The boots, they need a little heel, just a little bit of a heel, and they would be perfect. So I didn't wear them. I ended up wearing ankle boots. So I tell my sister, and she's like freaking out. She's like, well, that's the confirmation. She's like, you're telling me you just did this last night? I'm like, yes, just last night. And I can tell you, I haven't touched that box of boots in over 2 years. The box was covered in dust because it was in the very, very back of my closet. I haven't touched them in over 2 years. Haven't thought about boots in years. So then we get the boots. And she's like, well, that's so crazy because when I was getting dressed, which she was getting dressed, and she was looking the same thing for boots for herself, for her outfit, she was going to wear another pair, but she ended up going back to her favorite ankle boots that she loves so much, her Doc Martens. And these are Doc Martens, okay? And they have heel. And then I tell her, and then I almost forgot this part, which was like the biggest part. This is one of the biggest parts of it. She says, I said, oh yeah, and I forgot, because she knows my parents, my mom and my parents, and I don't know what my dad knows actually, if he even pays attention to us, but my sister knows and my mom knows. I talk to Tony every day. I see her in my meditation, and I'm like, oh my God, I completely forgot. I asked her to I didn't say us, I really said me, give me a sign that's out of the box. She's like, Melissa, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, they literally were in a box, and each in their own box. They came out of a box. She's like, oh my God, that is my confirmation. I'm getting chills as I'm talking to you, like goosebumps as I'm talking to you right now. She's like, because we're thinking, it's not like Tony loved boots. You know what I mean? Like Tony loved sneakers, and she was so cute the way she dressed. I mean, but she was like a sneaker girl, and, her cute little jeans, and she loved her little t-shirts and her jackets or whatever. But it's not like she was a boot girl, but they were in her size. But she would know that both of her sisters love boots. And my sister Samantha especially loves Doc Martens. And they would have to be almost identical. And they are almost identical, except one is black and one is suede and like a brownish tan. And of course, without even knowing, you could basically, like, if anybody who knows us, you could say, oh, well, Melissa would get the black boots and Samantha that's my other sister, would get the tan suede boots because that's their style. So it's like she knows what the style would be for us. And the fact that we were both with boots on the brain the night before, right? Me asking for an out of the box sign, them coming through my mother, because my mother would never give to one daughter without giving to the other daughter, right? Of her other two daughters that are, because because if they came to me, I would take both too. I wouldn't even think about it unless they didn't fit. Then I'd be like, here, you want a pair of boots? And, my sister's the same, like, well, they're in my name, so they're for me, but a mother's like, no, 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 one is for you. She's like, they are sister boots. You're asking for out of the box signs. She's like, it's a celebration time because we're celebrating my niece's birthday, her 16th birthday, which is a special birthday on St. Patrick's Day. And Tony adored her and she adored us. And Tony loved birthdays and loved celebrations. And she would definitely be there with us. And she's like, so she is letting us know, all of us, mom, me, my sister Samantha, and my niece, I was there. I'm with you. I'm celebrating with you. And here is my little confirmation. So yeah, so I think I have a picture. I think I could put it up at the end of the video. I haven't figured out. I guess I could do it in editing about how to have a picture float up like over here, like people do. But I'll put a picture of it, of the boots. But yeah, so that is my story about asking for signs and getting them. And sometimes they are completely and literally out of the box, like literally out of the box. And the fact that I haven't thought about boots, worn boots, addressed wanting knee-high boots until the night before the boots actually arrived, is just another confirmation for me. So if this helps in any way, you wondering if your loved ones are still with you, you can take my story as a confirmation that they are. So ask for signs. Maybe ask for out-of-the-box signs and see if you get any, if you get any, or if you've ever had a crazy story and you just know in your heart that it was a sign from a loved one who passed on and you would like to share it, I would love to hear it because I love hearing stories like this and I love getting this kind of confirmation. So yeah, I got a new pair of boots. My sister keeps singing the Nancy Sinatra song. These boots were made for walking. So there you go. So thanks, Tony, for our gift. We appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, when I tell you there is nobody who is on the other side of those boots, like nobody, like there's nobody to even, there's no confirmation. There's nobody to find. Like we looked, we searched, the tracking number is not even valid. So what I think Tony did is somehow there was a box of boots around. She put a little idea in somebody who processes, packages and printed my mom's name out with her address and put a stamp on it. And we got the boots. And that's the story. Okay. I hope everybody's doing well, is staying safe, and is finding something in your life every day that brings you joy. I'll see you next time. Bye.